used to stay here, Sugar Bay Natural Campground. This is where the officers tried to run me over on a bicycle, and they wound up giving me 2 tickets right here. I've stayed many and many a nights at this particular campsite right here. Many a nights. How y'all doing?
Pretty good. How about you?
Just enjoying the day. Been a beautiful day.
Yes, sir. It has been.
Yep. I used to camp out here all the time. I probably camped out here probably over a dozen times.
Nice. This is our second as a family. I've camped at this site several times when I was young, going to college at Murray State. So.
Right. Are y'all out because of spring break?
Sorry?
I said, are y'all out because of spring break?
Yeah.
Like everybody else? I just got through coming from over there at Hillman's. Hillman's campground is completely full almost. Yeah. I mean, it was super, super full. You know where Legal Road 141 is over here? On the right-hand side, right as you get on that blacktop, there's a road right there. I built a campsite way, way back there. I took a bunch of petrified wood and I built a big circle and I put a big altar in the middle of it, a praying altar, and I put a sword on top of the praying altar in 1989. And I literally stayed in that one spot for 40 days and 40 nights praying for a revival and praying that God would make a move up onto the land. And of course I had lots of complications with Homeland Security in regards to the sword, towards them trying to stop the ministry. And then in 2007, I purchased another sword. Okay. Keep in mind, I'd been coming up here routinely, cleaning the site, cleaning the sacred site. Matter of fact, I got several tickets because I had hardened the ground, is what they said. In other words, I took the natural state out of that particular ground in that circle that wasn't no longer considered natural. Because I took a shovel and dug and sifted through and got all the rocks and got all the pebbles and any of the imperfections like a root or anything like that. It took me several days to do it, but of course if you're up here for the period of 40 days and 40 nights, you ain't got nothing to do anyway, right? But in total, I have spent over a year up here living in primitive, like living on like Jeremiah Johnson, just basically off of the bare necessities. And of course, the second time I come up here in 2007, I had a lot of trouble. I had a lot of trouble with the forestry up here because they wanted to stop me from me pursuing what I wanted to pursue. But this whole area, Land Between the Lakes, it means a great deal to me because in 1989, I didn't know nothing at all about this area. And then whenever I come up here and I started spending so much time up here, that's a beautiful dog, by the way. I actually went down by Dover and I went to people's houses and talked to people about this area that still lives halfway in Land Between the Lakes, that used, part of the Trace. And then I've talked to other people like in Cadiz, other people in Aurora, other people. And I have found out a great deal of history about LBL towards what happened pertaining to the buyout and people being pushed out of this area. Yeah. And it was really, really sad.
Yeah, a lot of it is sad.
Because you had thriving communities at that time in the 30s up until they got the order in 1963. And then I think it took them about another 10 years to finally move everybody off. But just the flooding of the Tennessee River over here flooded several communities, several stuff. And it was really, really sad towards the sacrifices that's been made for our pleasure of having electricity. Basically. But I seen you guys out here. I just wanted to holler. Have a good night.
Take care, you too.
Me and the old lady, we've camped up here before. My ex-wife, camping in tents. Since then, they have put in a bathhouse, a nice little bathhouse. It seems like it come in 2007. It was here. Whenever I come back from Florida, this bathhouse was here in 2007. And before that, I can't remember a bathhouse, especially if you go all the way back whenever I first started all this. Back in 1989, they didn't have a bathhouse here. It seemed like they put the bathhouse in here right around 2000, or I don't know if it was before 2000 or after 2000. But this whole area means a great deal to me because of the people that made so many different sacrifices up here. I can't figure out, is that the road? Or is this the road? Am I at the road?
Yeah, it's just a turnaround to take you.
Okay, I like your van.
Oh, thanks.
That's kind of like a mobile home, isn't it?
Sure.
In other words, you got a canopy and everything, huh? Where'd you pick something like that up?
It's Indiana.
Yeah, for about 80,000.
Yeah, something like that.
They're expensive. I've looked at some of them BMWs and Mercedes. They're expensive, but they're nice.
They're nice. Yeah, you're right.
One good thing about them is that they're not so bulky like a regular RV.
Yeah, they're
Easy to get around in. That's one of the luxuries that you have. And I'm sure you're bound to get a whole lot better gas mileage. Instead of getting, what average, about 4 miles a gallon, 6 miles a gallon? Yeah. And probably in that thing, you probably average, what, 15?
Yeah, you get 15.
Yeah. I used to camp up here all the time. I like this area.
It's wide.
It's beautiful. Y'all have a good time. Yeah, the water's real so low that it would be hard over here in this marina to launch a boat. I've camped up here on this side up here several times, tenting it. Either that campsite or this campsite here was one of my two favorites. Camp down below, but that was because all this was taken up. I hope the road ain't washed out so bad that I can't make it through here, because sometimes the rains actually make freaking gullies, big gullies. Somebody set up camp out here and their truck is gone, or car, whatever that they're in. Probably a truck, got a big boat, whoever it is, doing it the rough way, doing it the good old rough way. That's probably them right there. Why is the water so low?
I don't know. Overwarming.
trench right here. Ooh, watch it. That's rascal right there was deep. It almost requires a truck up here. Here's the garbage bin right here. And usually you see a lot of ducks and stuff out here. Good fishing. Real good fishing. And I guess they've got a good enough landing here that you can still get in and out if you didn't bottom your motor out. It's beautiful back in here, especially in the spring when everything's green, or late in the fall when everything is going dormant. Pertaining to the colors are just magnificent down in here. I mean, this is full-fledged 100% country that city people don't get to experience all that much unless they do a lot of camping and go to nature areas like this. I love nature. I think nature is on the course that it's supposed to be, because nature is still nature. It's not the world that's messed up. It's the people in the world that has messed the world up. Nice. All right, I'm gonna shut this off. Thanks for listening.